people wear shirts that look like they're upside down.
And that will allow us to sync up the sound to the visual if Adam chooses to use the lav.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like
So just
this?
yeah, and then just kind of flat. Perfect. All right.
I used to be a really big fan of that local Double D chain around here. And as I got more and more passionate about waste and reusing, I was looking at their styrofoam cups and I'm just like, I can't use these anymore. So people always say, oh, it's just a paper cup. Yet most of these disposable paper cups have a really thin plastic lining.
64% of Americans drink a cup of coffee every day, the most in the world overall. But the convenience of disposable cups is hurting the planet. In the United States, 329 million cups per day go to the landfill. That number reaches 120 billion annually. What about recycling? Many cups can't be recycled because of their materials. The ones that can often end up in landfills anyway because of contamination, and still others end up as litter, flowing from city sidewalks to sewage to the ocean. Even biodegradable options have issues. Many are never composted properly, and these materials will not break down in landfills.
I don't think of plastic as being even part of a life cycle. I think of it as a death cycle, honestly. Plastic that lines a paper coffee cup or the plastic lid or a styrofoam cup, which is just a form of plastic with its plastic lid, that plastic is going to leach chemicals into your body when you drink hot, acidic coffee out of that cup.
It's like you know what you're putting inside your body. It's kind of just a guessing game with the other cups.
Polyethylene-lined paper cups will never biodegrade. Though polylactic acid, otherwise known as PLA, may appear better, their degradation is reliant on commercial composting facilities. It is estimated that the production of every 4 paper cups results in 1 pound of carbon dioxide emissions. Less than 1% of the cups we produce are recycled.
So the problem we have is that there is no way, there is no safe place to throw your coffee cup. If you use a paper coffee cup, you've created a problem that will not go away. If you use a polystyrene coffee cup, you've done that, but it's even more toxic and more dangerous. Furthermore, those plastic cups, same deal. Very toxic, very dangerous. You should avoid using disposable coffee cups whenever you can. Recycling is about taking something that has value and remaking it into that thing again so you avoid virgin materials. You cannot recycle styrofoam, which is the number 6 plastic styrene. You cannot recycle that effectively. It's very toxic to recycle it, but there's no market for it because we subsidize our gas and oil industry so much that it's always going to be cheaper for them to make virgin plastics. The process by which we recycle plastics is flawed. It only will work a few times at best. And then finally, because polystyrene breaks down so easily and because it's such a toxic material, there's no market for recycling polystyrene. I only know of 1 or 2 places in the country that actually recycle polystyrene, and it's in a very, very small amounts. The same problem exists, the same difficulty in recycling exists when you're looking at a paper cup lined with plastic. There is no market for recycling that material because it's a combined material. You would have to melt the plastic and then extract the paper and either compost or recycle the paper and then recycle the plastic. It is way too difficult and expensive to separate those constituents out and actually recycle both of them.
Most single-use coffee cups are difficult and expensive to reprocess because the paper and the plastic have to be separated. Oftentimes, coffee cups are contaminated with food waste, eliminating the option for recycling. As a result, waste management facilities will often treat the cups as trash, which means that they are landfilled or burned. Plastic leachate is a problem resulting from burying waste, and airborne toxins are the outcome of incineration.
You know, when you recycle, it's a guessing game. Like, okay, I'm going to put this in this bin, and then that truck's going to come pick it up using a bunch of resources, and then they're going to truck it off somewhere else using a bunch of resources, and then maybe it's going to go. But there's so many studies out now that recycling is just sitting there. You know, there's a place in Oakland that has like 10 years backlog of recycling. So when you're reusing, you know the impact you're making. You're taking that cup and you're using it again. It's a no-brainer.
Yeah, I go to coffee shops like 3 times a week, maybe, on an average. I've tried to stop drinking coffee, but it's really difficult.
Yeah, so whenever I dispose my cup after using one of the one-use, I do sometimes think about the landfills that they pile up in.
I would like to think recycling works. I hope it works, but I've heard a lot of research that a lot of the percentage of recycling products don't end up actually being recycled.
I've seen those videos where you just see tons and tons of plastic bottles and things like that just piled up in random landfills and things, so I don't think it personally works.
And if it's a recyclable cup, I would like to think that it's being recycled. I'm not sure. It probably goes to trash just most of the time, is from what I'm assuming.
Yeah, I think it's very difficult to give up convenience, and I think that's the most difficult part of changing our behavior.
It's kind of just like one of those effects that every time you see something every day, you want to create a routine of it. And I think we're just people of habit, so it's tough to kind of break that kind of cycle. So if I have, every time after class, I have a routine of getting a coffee cup that's one use, it'd be tough to break that after a while.
I started using reusable cups because I just know that a one-time use product, using it over and over again is not sustainable, and I really do want to try and minimize my carbon footprint, even though it's very minimal. I do want to try my best.
Students understand the issues of climate change, of waste. They understand that their day-to-day habits have impact. So at Useful, we are really focusing on replacing single-use products, specifically food and drink products. We want folks to grab returnable packaging as opposed to single-use packaging, and then return it where it's convenient for them, where it's washed and put back into use. So we are partnering with colleges, corporate campuses, as well as communities with funded zero waste goals. We have learned that behavior change can be hard, but when we partner with an organization with commitments to zero waste, we can enable and accelerate that change.
I hear a lot of people saying, oh, it's just one cup, or I'm just one person, what's it going to do? Well, I look at the positive side of what I've done by not using a disposable coffee cup since '07. So I calculated the math recently, and the stack of disposable coffee cups for the past 13 years that I haven't been using them would be higher than the tallest building in the world, Burj Khalifa. And so to me, that is a physical representation of how much impact one person can have. So imagine if we were all working together to create that same positive change.
There's this concept that if you're able to buy something at the store that it is safe, it is not. It is not true. It is not safe. And unfortunately, it's gotten to the point we're so concerned with those short-term profits and also buying our own goods cheaply that we are purchasing disposable items that are rife with plastics and making us sick every day.
The price of convenience is much higher than the price we pay at the counter.
As an alumni, I would love to see Northeastern take a lead on reuse.
74% of Americans say that they care about the environment, and each can make an impact. Human convenience is an expense the environment cannot afford.